Welcome, surf fans, to the famed Sunset Beach, an iconic wave that demands respect.
A lot going on and a lot to digest.
Crazy things just happened there.
I thought I was going to die.
There's just so much power and mana to it. You gotta love it. It's a beautiful, big, deep ocean wave.
Bouncing back from disappointing endings in 2022, Carissa Moore and Jack Robinson steamrolled the competition at Pipeline for stop number 1. Now surfing in yellow, both have won events here at Sunset Beach. Jack Robinson in 2019 and Carissa Moore 10 years earlier. With early exits at Pipeline, for those at the bottom of the rankings, the mid-season cut is fast approaching. It's time to start winning. This is the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Always a wonderful sign when you wake up to rainbows here on the North Shore of Oahu. It happens all the time, but you feel blessed and you're in the right place in the world. Look at Sunset Beach. Not much for surf at the moment. As we welcome you all to Dawn Patrol here for the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, stop number 2 of the World Surf League Championship Tour. What a gorgeous, wet morning. Joe Turpel, Laura Enever, longtime CT standout. Pete Mel, fresh off that Eddie Aikau event a couple of weeks ago at Waimea Bay. Pete, welcome back to Hawaii, and proud of you. Great job once again in the Eddie.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. And good to be back in Hawaii, especially at a place like Sunset Beach, a place that's very dear to my heart. It's a challenging wave, and I love that it's on this tour.
Laura, you love big waves at this part of your career, and it feels like Sunset Beach can be that rad sparring playground for big wave legends to really get a lot of reps in on every given day.
It really is. I mean, you see a range of surfers out at Sunset Beach. You know, people that have been surfing out there for many years, to the young grobs just trying to find their feet when it gets bigger. It's, you know, a heavy, deep ocean wave, and, you know, it's iconic. It's got so much history, and, yeah, I've had some amazing fun sessions out there.
Let's dive into this place to see where we are in the world. Remember, we just finished Pipeline. That's about a mile away. So if you walk as slow as I do, take about 20 minutes to get here. But Sunset's beautiful. Obviously, you land in the airport on the other side of the island, drive about an hour. Hope you don't get jammed in traffic on Kamehameha Highway, and you get to this beautiful section of the reef, starting with Val's there. Pete, how does this wave work?
Well, we've got a deep channel on both sides of this reef, and the reef sticks way out into the Pacific, and what that does is it magnifies swell. It brings it right into the channel here. That deeper water mixed with the shallower reef creates this wave. It's a very deep water wave on the outside section. It's big, it's meaty, it's got a lot of water moving around, likes to hold you down. And then the inside bowl, that's that whip into it. It's shallower water, and it's a barrel, and it's very challenging to pick those good waves. It's one of those waves that challenges every athlete on this tour.
How do these channels affect the lineup, Pete?
Well, they are steering the waves. I mean, anytime you have deep water mixed with shallow water, it steers the swells into the reefs, and with that, creates the wave that we get to ride here at Sunset Beach.
Giant playing field. It couldn't be more drastic of a change. Being this close to Pipeline, totally different story on how to compete at Sunset. Laura?
It is. I mean, all of the surfers will basically be throwing out their quivers from Pipeline, and Sunset, it's a different ball game. It's different boards. You're on rail, you're carving, and we're going to see a lot of high-performance surfing as well. So I'm super excited to see this event unfold.
Well, we saw rainbows this morning, but definitely not much surf behind us. Let's get the official word from Chief of Sport, Jesse Miley-Dyer with AJ McCord.
A beautiful rainbow, but not many waves on tap for this morning, Jesse. So give us the official call for this opening day of the sunset window.
Yeah, we are officially off for today. The good news, though, is that tomorrow actually does look like we're going to get swell. There is swell coming very, very late this afternoon, and we figured it was definitely worth having a look today, but looks good for tomorrow.
So let's talk about what you're looking for and what you're seeing for tomorrow then.
Yeah, so we're looking at like one of the better days of the window so far, especially in this first week tomorrow. Coming into tomorrow and the next day, we should have, you know, kind of hopefully double overhead waves, and it's always nice to have a bit of size here at Sunset, and it's definitely what we've come for. So yeah, I think we're going to have clean conditions, and it's nice as well for the wind to have kind of backed off a bit.
Well, we are excited. We'll see you tomorrow morning with hopefully a few more waves.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, AJ. Surfline, thank you for the official forecast for the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Like we saw, it's flat, but that's going to change this afternoon, Pete.
Yeah, purple blob right there. That's that first one. It's going to head our way. And, of course, the more it's delayed, the better, I think, just in case, you get to hold into Monday and we get the peak more of a Monday into Tuesday. I think that's the fingers crossed kind of call. We've had such these strong northeast trades, and it does affect how the timing is for a swell when it comes in. The computers think it's this way, but when you start putting surface winds that are 20, 30 knots out there, it definitely delays the swell. So fingers crossed that happens. You look into Thursday, though, you've got more swell coming, right? There's blob after blob after blob. That's great news for the window. We're going to see surf here. The trades are going to back off in the back half of the waiting period, which is good, too.
As we look at today, you see that big jump this afternoon. Not enough time to run heats before it gets dark, but tomorrow's looking really promising as we check out those numbers, Laura.
Yeah, wow, 8 to 12 foot faces, and we're still going to have that side offshore. But the good thing about Sunset Beach is that it doesn't really get too affected here. I mean, it swings around the corner here, and when you see those big open faces coming towards you, they're going to be clean.
That's what we're looking forward to. So tomorrow looking very promising to get the opening round of competition out there. But we have a lot of stories to dive into. Carissa's back in yellow, and the top 10 looks a lot different than it did last season, coming into stop number 2 for the women. We'll be right back.
Chris on the move.
Drops into this one, no problem, comes out of it.
Carissa Moore, the champion of the Billabong Pro Pipeline and #1 in the world. It was a beautiful day at Pipeline for Carissa Moore as she was devastated last September, lost her world title, and she's back to #1 in the world. A big final over her longtime rival Tyler Wright, and the title race is on. Joe Turpel, Laura Enever, and Pete Mel. Pete, I haven't been able to catch up with you yet. What about the overall performances at Pipeline that you saw from the women last week?
I would have to say Carissa, obviously, with the win, was a huge performance, but I really like Tyler Wright. I think that she came out in a new form that we haven't seen before. Very confident, loose, just a joy to watch. So I think Tyler's got a good season ahead of her.
As we look at the top 10, Laura, what's really popping out to you as differences from what we had last season, or what you're looking forward to seeing, a little bit of a shakeup in that Final Five picture?
Well, I mean, we have the three remaining girls, Carissa, Tyler, Lakey, in the top 3. They were there last year, but, you know, Betty Lou, Tati, Breeza, I mean, there's a lot of the younger girls coming through there, but someone missing from this is Stephanie Gilmore, who is going to be fighting back once again, just as she did last year. So excited to see how this event unravels.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you look at that list. Steph, that's a big call there, not in that top 10 picture, just like last season, so she'll have to pick up the pace at Sunset Beach. Last year it was all about Brisa Hennessy getting her first victory. She represents Costa Rica, but she's also put in a lot of time on this wave. Pete, how did she turn in such a dominant performance last year?
A lot of time at this wave. You know, it's experience. You know, she was able to do it as well with the juniors at a very early age. She took a win here, so all of a sudden you feel very confident coming into a place that you've won at in the past. And she surfs the place really well. She knows how to draw the right lines. She knows how to choose the waves. She's confident. She doesn't mind, taking a beating and coming up, paddling back out with the winded. You know, it's part of surfing Sunset.
And also looking at Brisa, one of the younger names, but it was a very youthful movement last season into the quarterfinals. A very young draw into the finals day, Laura.
Yeah, the next generation well and truly arrived here at Sunset. You know, they came off some hard results at Pipeline last year and then just steamrolled through the veterans here. And I think it was so exciting to see. I mean, I think a lot of the veterans didn't know what to expect when they came back here because it's been such a long time between the women's events. But you know, they weren't expecting that new generation to have the power and the confidence and the knowledge of this wave.
Is that going to repeat itself, Pete?
Ooh, big call, but I would say yes.
All those junior years really paying off here at Sunset.
And just because I think that there's an understanding of what they need to do at Sunset Beach in this modern era.
As we look at the young names in the draw, Betty Lou Sakura Johnson, remember, she made the semifinals last year. She's re-qualified. Also looking at Molly Picklum, Gabrielle O'Brien to join that youthful movement this year at Sunset Beach.
For sure, and Luana Silva, who grew up surfing here at Sunset. These women just looked like they knew this wave so well. Some of the veterans were getting lost in heats, and these girls just had the confidence and, yeah, the power and the progressive surfing. So, I mean, I think, you know, there's a lot of unknowns when you come back to a wave after a long time, and I do think the veterans will turn around this event and say, hey, we have to watch out for these younger girls. They know what they're doing, and they had to put a lot more time in before this event. But look at this, Gabrielle O'Brien, I was just so impressed with what they were all doing.
So cool. Gabby O'Brien took out Steph Gilmore. We had Luana Silva take out Tatiana Weston-Webb. Molly Picklum took out Carissa Moore last year. It certainly felt like a changing of the guard, but there might be one rookie on tour that's getting more hype than anyone else, getting compared to Tom Curran and Dane Reynolds. Here's why.
Maybe give me a clap real quick.
My name is Caitlin Simmers, and I'm 17, and I'm from Oceanside, California. I usually go by Katie, but I really don't care. Probably my biggest life mentor would be my mom. One of the best things my mom has told me is to always bring a book somewhere, and a bathing suit. Because you never know when there's going to be a hot tub or a pool somewhere, or you're always like waiting around, so having a book is better than your phone. My mom's a hero. She's pretty sick. My goal is to probably just to make the cut, honestly, and try to enjoy it too. Yeah, I'm just going to see what happens, I guess. Maybe do some roundhouse cutbacks, maybe get barreled. That would be pretty sick.
Jack Robinson with a ton of speed, wide open. He's looking to sneak out the exit. Nice healthy looking top turn and rock and roll hack off the top. Jack Robinson is your champion of the Billabong Pro Pipeline. It all made sense for Jack Robinson. He was supposed to win Pipeline at some stage of his career. He had some bad results to start in his handful of wild cards and performance last year, and it all clicked. Last year, learned how to win. One of the quickest surfers to achieve 4 CT wins in history, and now he's #1 on the rankings as we check out the top 10 in the world. Jack wearing yellow to get into Sunset Beach, where he's had a lot of success in the past, Pete.
He looks like, I mean, this tour isn't better for a guy like Jack because Pipeline, Sunset Beach, places that he is probably a standout and a favorite to win. You'd have to say that his chances are good. Quarterfinals last year. You think about the year he qualified when he took that win. Best performance ever I've seen in competition by a surfer out here at Sunset Beach, Jack Robinson that day. So he looks to be the guy to beat right now, and I would say he's brimming with confidence.
And also, there's a lot of big names absent from that top 10 list, Laura, that were a part of the Rip Curl WSL finals last year.
For sure. I mean, we saw a lot of those finalists, not there. They bowed out in round 3 at Pipe, and they'll be looking to try and come back from that early loss. So, yeah, look at this. Colapinto, Ethan Ewing, Italo, Kanoa, and Kelly Slater.
Big names there. Colapinto went down really early to Leo Fioravanti. Ethan Ewing still trying to build his reputation at Pipe. For Ferrer, he's a Pipe champ. And then we also lost the GOAT really early following an emotional win for himself. Focusing on Kanoa as he comes back to try to repeat his success last year at Sunset. Are you expecting that similar performance, Laura?
Yeah, I think he'll be really hungry, Kanoa, especially after that loss at Pipe. You know, he was on fire here last year, so he can take that confidence and, you know, the knowledge and, you know, just how connected he was to his board. He will do amazing. These calves, he was so on rail, just really committed to those end sections and was just stuck to his board.
It was a meaningful Hawaiian leg of the tour for Kanoa last season. He talked about the early years of being a little bit nervous out here, and that all changed as he had 2 keepers from Pipe to Sunset. Now he's trying to pick back up and get himself in a final series so he can compete for the world title this year. The big news, though, it's always big news whenever a GOAT falls out of a contest as a defending champ at Pipe. He lost very early, but Pete, he's heading into Sunset Beach into a territory that he's always talked about how he's uncomfortable out here.
Yeah, and if you think of his surfing and what he's been able to do at Sunset Beach, it's not he surfs this place very, very well. His equipment looks good. It's just a matter of it's a mental game. I think really his relationship he's put in his head that it's not a great one. You know, Laura made a point yesterday. You know what? He should just write down everything he doesn't like about Sunset, put it in a piece of paper, burn it, and all of a sudden, you know, put that mono away and start all over because he surfs it well enough to win. He hasn't won, so that should take it as motivation. You know, happy birthday to the GOAT. Obviously, he had his birthday yesterday, and 51, and he's still one of the best in the world. That's
just crazy to have a statement like that. Clearly, in our eyes, one of the best, if not the best athlete of all time.
Yeah, his body, his mind, everything, soul looks just so connected to the ocean still, and it's really, really inspiring to see.
And I'm just wondering, has he been putting in the time out here? Has he tried to build something
You're here living
in
here.
a short
seen him out at
space?
Sunset?
I've heard one rumor about him being out there.
Okay, cool.
One day, but I'm not quite sure. Seen a lot of golf, a lot of pipeline, and a lot of sandbar sessions.
He surfs on the Surfline cams.
He does. Yeah. He is a visual guy. Let's hope Kelly gets a lot of success this year at Sunset Beach. The story last year was all about a wild card. North Shore local boy Baron Mamiya going all the way to a victory, one that he called the best day of his life. He couldn't stop the tears when he heard the announcement that he beat Kanoa in the final, and all of his friends and family were there to cheer him on from start to finish. So fun looking back on such a great moment for Baron Mamiya.
One of the guys I think that rides the smallest equipment at Sunset Beach is not shy to ride a 6'1" or a 6'2" in 10-foot surf here. You know, this was a 6'4" by the coach, Galley, who said, hey, let's go a little more volume and try it out. Smoothed them out slightly, but he took the same aggressive style of surfing, and it took him to a win, a huge win. Matter of fact, it rocketed him onto tour. He's here still because of this win.
That's right. As we check in with who's in the event, local wildcard, Zoe McDougall. This is her home break. She's going to be dangerous. Remember Keanu Singh? He won the Quick Pro in France when he beat Medina and John on the same day. He's back. Kai Lenny, big wave waterman, is going to mix it up with the world's best out here at Sunset. Teresa Bonvalat, Luana Silva. In for the injured surfers, Joanne DeFay and Sophie McCulloch. Also Carlos Munoz and Eli Hanneman getting the wild card for Ramsey Bukiam and Jansen Andre. Eli actually recently moved to the North Shore from Maui. He lives right up the road, really close to this venue at Sunset Beach. I'm looking for him to make a statement this week, Laura.
Yeah, I'm super excited. There's so many cool names in there that I think are going to really take it to, the top surfers and mix things up a bit. So excited to watch them compete here on the main stage.
Remember, a lot of time to check out your fantasy surf teams on worldsurfleague.com and pick your power surfers, which will earn you double points. Plenty of time to get those set. We'll be right back. We'd really like to mahalo or thank the Kanoa Wong and DeSoto Ohanas, their families, for blessing us and honoring Paumalu Sunset for its contribution as Vahipana, a storied place of Hawaii, and hosting the WSL Championship Tour event number 2. Also recognizing the indigenous Hawaiians for creating this amazing pastime of surfing that we still practice today at this very special venue. When it comes to this venue, there's a lot of great topics, especially surfboards. They could look drastically different from what they rode at Pipeline, as we need to get you caught to speed with the CT Shaper rankings heading into stop number 2. And yep, on top of the leaderboard, just like last year, Sharp Eye showing some dominance once again, Laura.
Yeah, Sharp Eye, they have a lot of amazing team riders, and after that win from Jack Robinson, you know, they scooted up right to the top. Mayhem right there with Carissa's win. Heisel, Channel Islands, DHD. You know, pretty cool to see all of those boards performing really well at Pipeline.
Nice resurgence from Channel Islands, Pete.
Yeah, you got a couple surfers there. There's Joao, who ended in the semis there. Surfed amazing over there at Pipeline. Blakey Peterson back into the quarters. So, yeah, see you guys there.
I'm excited to see the Takoras and Arakawas and you know, the Pangs start popping in here at Sunset Beach. If we get big enough waves and swell, then you know, a lot of the international surfers will be jumping on those locally shaped designs. So that'll be pretty cool.
That's a great point. Remember, you have to make the quarterfinals to get some points for the shapers that work so hard for you behind the scenes. And we'll keep you posted on those rankings. There will be a champion at the end of the regular season in Tahiti, and we'll keep you posted along the ride. That's it for us today. Remember, join us tomorrow morning at 7:45 for the call for the opening round of the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. We'll see you then. Days ago, the surfing world lost one of its true originals in Larry Haynes, a longtime North Shore staple and member of our traveling family. Many of our images from the lineup were captured through Larry's lens. Larry's absence from lineups throughout Hawaii, as well as this event, will be especially felt. We'd like to extend our thoughts and prayers to his friends and family around the world during this time. Larry, thank you for your friendship.